Welcome back to Shoaib Stories, where we bring you true tales of courage, hope, and humanity. Stories that touch the heart and remind us what it means to never give up. Today, we tell the story of a girl who stood up when silence was safer. A girl who held onto her school books when others dropped theirs in fear. A girl whose voice became louder than the bullets that tried to silence her. This is the inspiring journey of Malala Yousafzai, the girl who fought with a pen. It all began in Mingora, a beautiful city in the Swat Valley of Pakistan, a land of green mountains, clear rivers, and kind-hearted people who loved poetry, peace, and learning. In this valley in 1997, a little girl was born. Her father, Ziauddin Yousafzai, was a teacher and school principal, a man who believed that every child, boy or girl, had the right to learn. He named his daughter Malala after Malala of Maiwand, a legendary Afghan girl who inspired her people with her bravery. From her very first day at school, Malala loved learning, the sound of chalk on the board, the smell of books, and the laughter of her classmates. She dreamed of becoming a doctor, a leader, a voice for others. Her father often said, "Malala will be free as a bird." And indeed, she was, until the day freedom came under threat.
When Malala was about 10 years old, life in Swat began to change. A group of militants started spreading fear. They wanted to control how people lived, what they said, and even what girls could learn. Slowly, they began banning schools for girls. They burned classrooms. They sent warnings. One by one, the schools closed their doors. But in her heart, Malala refused to accept this. She couldn't understand. Why should books be a crime? Why should a girl's dreams be dangerous? So she began to speak up. First, she wrote secretly on the BBC Urdu blog using the name Gul Makai, sharing her experiences, the fear, the silence, and her wish to return to class. Her words were simple but powerful. "I don't understand why they are against girls going to school. Education is our right." Soon, people began noticing the little girl with the big voice. She appeared on Pakistani TV, speaking boldly for girls' education. Her father stood proudly beside her, even when it was dangerous. Malala's bravery inspired thousands, students, teachers, and parents. The world started listening. But so did those who opposed her message. One afternoon in October 2012, when Malala was just 15 years old, she was returning home from school. Her friends laughed beside her in the van. Suddenly, gunshots. A man stopped the vehicle, asked, "Who is Malala?" then fired. The bullet struck her head and neck. Her friends screamed. Her books fell to the floor. The valley went silent. Malala was flown to hospitals, first in Peshawar, then to England. The world prayed. Pakistan prayed. People from every background, every faith, every color, united in hope. Days turned into weeks. Doctors fought for her life. And then, a miracle. She survived. When she woke up in a hospital bed in Birmingham, she couldn't speak, but she smiled. That smile became the spark that reignited her mission. She realized that she had been given a second life, not for herself, but for millions of girls who still could not go to school. Malala began her journey as a global symbol of courage. She continued her studies in England, but never forgot Swat, never forgot the classroom where it all began. In 2013, she addressed the United Nations, wearing a simple shawl once worn by Benazir Bhutto. Her words moved the world. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. That single line became a message of hope for humanity. In 2014, at just 17 years old, she became the youngest ever Nobel Peace Prize winner. But even then, she said, "This award is not for me. It is for every child who deserves to go to school." Today, Malala Yousafzai is not just a name, she's a movement. Through the Malala Fund, she helps girls across the world, from Pakistan to Nigeria, Afghanistan to Brazil, to get an education and build a better life. She graduated from Oxford University, proving that dreams, when protected by courage, always find their way home. And what makes her story truly powerful is not revenge, it's forgiveness. Malala once said, "Even if I meet the man who shot me, I will not hate him. I will forgive him. Because my fight is not against people. It is against ignorance." That is her true strength, turning pain into purpose and fear into freedom. And that, my friends, was the story of Malala Yousafzai, the girl who fought with a pen. A girl from a peaceful valley who stood up for what was right, who turned her wounds into words and became a global voice for education and equality. She showed us that no matter where you're born, no matter how small your voice seems, you can still change the world. One word, one dream, one classroom at a time. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Shoaib Stories. We bring you more real-life tales of courage, kindness, and hope. Because every story you hear today could be the reason someone doesn't give up tomorrow. Thank you for watching. This is Shoaib, signing off with one message. Raise your voice, not to shout, but to give voice to those who cannot be heard.